Hi, in this session we're going to look at how to use pivot table in performing data aggregation. You can see we have data here regarding sales, and we have the month, the product, the city, the quantity, and the amount. And you can work on this data to get certain summaries. Some extra look at number one, for instance. The question says, what was the sales revenue for each town? Now, to be able to answer this question using the pivot table, all you need to do is click anywhere on your data set, and once you've clicked on your data set, you go and click on Insert Pivot Tables. You get this screen that shows you the data selected for the pivot table, and you can either decide you're going to put it in a new worksheet or an existing sheet. So let's leave it as new worksheet. You click OK. Now immediately you do that, you get a pivot table has been created, a layout you can work on and create your pivot table. And on this side, on the right side, you have the field list, and you can see it shows you all the fields available within your data set. And then the lower side of this screen shows you places you can put in your fields, any of these field lists. You can put in, for instance, in the report filter, if you want to use one of the fields for filtering. You could put it in the column labels if you want it to be the field that is arranged in the columns, and you could put it in the row labels if you want it to be the field that's arranged in the rows. And the values here gives you what you're trying to aggregate. If we look back on our question, what we were being asked to do was to get the sales revenue for each town. So we go back to our pivot table, and we know we want the sales revenue, so we pick amount, we drag it to the values position, and that immediately shows on your screen there that you have 11,582, the total, grand total for your amount. Now to bring in the city, you drag your city, and you could either put it on the column labels or on the row labels. Let's assume we put it on the row labels, and that's what we get. And you can see your summary has come out quite well. You can try and answer number two. Number two talks of sales revenue for each month. If we go back to our pivot table, all we need to do is remove the city and bring in the month, and there we are. We get our breakdown by month. If you had put it on the column labels, then that's what you would get in the column arrangement. But if it's on the row labels, this is what you get. Now, you can also do various other things with your pivot table. For instance, you can make these values be shown as percentages as opposed to as actual values. You come to where your values field is, which is sum of amount. You click on it, click on the value field settings, select show value as, and then you get these choices of show value as. There is normal and various other options. Let's for instance pick percent of total. That would mean that we are going to show the values as a percent of the grand total, and we click OK, and there we are. So you can get to see the ratios of how your sales has been contributed in the various months. Now we could add another field into our layout. For instance, we could bring in the city and the column labels, and this brings your cities there, the columns representing the cities and the rows representing the months, and you're seeing the contribution of the particular months within the particular city, and this is based on the ratio related to the grand total. If you go back again to the settings, value field settings, you can actually change that to percent of row. This would give you the distribution by each month, that is how much each month has contributed towards the total for a particular city, or at the grand total level towards the total of the grand total. And as you can see, pivot tables really make your life a little easy in terms of working on your summaries. Let's get back to normal, and there we are. We have our values. We can also change the format of these values to make sure that we can have commas. So we come to number format and pick number. You can get rid of your decimals, make sure it's 0, and put in a comma as a separator for the thousands, and click OK, and you click OK again, and there you are. This shows you the pivot table updated. Thank you.